Listen briefly to the minister, the vice chairman of NCC.
As yet, we do not have any scientific evidence to show any correlation between the 5G spectrum and the COVID-19 virus as we're talking. At the national level, that is, I'm talking about in the Nigerian context, what we have done so far is to embark on a trial, a 5G trial using two spectra, 3.5 and 26 gigahertz. We are presently studying the results of these tests. I'm talking about the trial tests, and the commission will come up with a position as to the safety or otherwise of this particular spectrum which we have deployed for the rollout of.
All right, that was the vice chairman of the NCC, of course, downplaying that particular claim. But I don't know why. I think I'll come to Priya. Why do you think there was this, let's say, conspiracy? I don't know where it even emanated from. I don't know what your position is. I mean, some people scientists actually have come out to deny such facts, the connection between COVID-19 and 5G network. What do you think?
First of all, personally, I think it's not connected with the research I've done.
Okay.
Personally, I think it's not connected. But it's about fears and people out there spreading, let's say, conspiracy theory and falsehood, if I would say. But there's an issue that some other people out there are thinking that people are not coming out straight with facts about the 5G. And I think clarity needs to be done in that angle. And I mean, specialists and professionals in this field need to come up and explain to the general public, give them the reason, the benefits of 5G, so that they will actually get that ease inside of them. Because it's more like some people don't really know how it works. Some people have different feeling, like if it's this good, then possibly there should be negativity within it or something. So I think it's about professionals in this field talking about the internet and service to come out clear and explain to the general public so they can actually get.
Okay, but I mean, we've had 4G, we had 2G, 3G, 4G, and for those who have explained this is an improvement on the 4G. Funaya, why is this one a big issue? I mean, 5G, if we've had 2, 3, 4, and then we're on the fifth one, and some people have even said, look, we are going to 6 and 7 and maybe 8. Why is this a big deal?
Well, I would say whenever there's an issue, human beings like to look for something to blame it on. So I would say, I think most persons are looking for what to blame the coronavirus on. And then they've decided to pick 5G. I know so many persons have said it has health implications, which is actually true. I know, yeah, he has a lot of, but then the conspiracy theories about surrounding it, I can't really say. I think time will tell us if it's actually connected, because then if we say it's not connected, we can't really be very, very sure. I can't really say I'm very sure.
Even with your position, you're not sure if there is any connection.
Well, I don't know. If you've read so many things, you get really confused. I mean, the theories out there leaves you very confused. You don't know what to
I think we just have to wait and keep hoping that there is this, like Priya said, more explanation on it
from experts.
But I think so far, experts have said there is no connection. Wherever the story came up from, we don't know. But like as time goes, we understand, or we'll be told how much unconnected 5G is, from the COVID-19. So on Monday, we also had the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, explaining why it opposed the invitation of Chinese doctors to Nigeria to help in the prevention of spread of COVID-19 in the country. The president of NMA, Dr. Francis Faduyile, wondered why Chinese doctors will be invited to the country when, according to him, Nigerian doctors were already containing the virus. Victor, invitation of Chinese doctors to Nigeria. I mean, that's that development caused a lot of controversy. I'm sure it's still causing a lot of controversies. Is there anything wrong in inviting people who, quote and unquote, have passed through this to come help us out?
Our argument is very, very straightforward, especially with the fact that we work with facts on the ground. The Chinese medical experts, they are not just doctors. Out of the 15 that came to Nigeria, 12 of them are doctors. The remaining 3 are public health experts. Now, Nigeria is fortunate to have 15 of them, in this country, because the Chinese also sent some of their health workers to Italy. Italy made that demand. At a point, Italy was the epicenter of the virus in Europe.
Yes.
Yes, and it still remains the epicenter. But because of the way the virus was spreading, the scary spread of COVID-19 in Italy, where to the extent that their mortuaries couldn't even take corpses anymore, they had to cry out for help. And then they reached out to China. China sent some medical experts there. They are not even up to 15. Iran also had the same experience, and China also sent help to Iran. So Nigeria is a very integral part of China. A lot has been done between Nigeria and China, to the extent that the Chinese government and the federal government reached an agreement, to reduce the value of yen for Nigerians, and even make Chinese visa, easy to apply for, and Nigerians even have easy access to China. A lot of people, so the relationship, the economic relationship, the socio-economic relationship between Nigeria and China, was explored. And then Chinese medical personnel have to come to Nigeria.
Yeah, but the argument is the doctors here are already doing a good job. I mean, if you judge by the number of discharged patients we have already, so do we really need any international help?
Let us not forget that this virus emanated from China. And as we speak, China has zero record of coronavirus. Any other person that has coronavirus in China came from outside. It's not living in China. So we need that experience. But it's unfortunate that our professional bodies, the Nigerian Medical Association, with due respect to them, didn't like the idea. If there was an ulterior motive for the coming of the Chinese doctors, we do not know to that extent. But I think and I believe that it is to the betterment of Nigerians.
So we believe, like you said, it's for the betterment of Nigeria. By the way, they were quarantined and they are going to be in
isolation for 2 weeks.
They're going to be there for 2 weeks. And the minister has also said they are hoping that maybe in the coming days they will have to establish a network. I mean, how they can do video conferencing so that they can already start the work that they are here for. And that's about that. On Tuesday too, we had now in Rivers State, the Rivers State government reopened the markets. I want to believe, The resident of Rivers State stormed the various markets across the state to take the advantage of the reopening of market by Governor Wike, which were locked due to the spread of coronavirus. Buyers and sellers at the market in Port Harcourt called on the state government to extend the closure time for the market, which reopened on Tuesday. Frida, I don't know if you used that window of opportunity to go and stock up again, huh?
Yes, I did.
So what do you make of the timing? Some people said, look, 7 to 12 is quite short. And
very, very short. In fact, when I went to 2 market, I even forgot that it's from 7 to 12. So I left Rumola market. I said, let me just rush to State Secretariat. From there, I go to Town Market. That is Creek Road Market. By the time I got there around 12, I saw they are packing. I said, what happened? I read that you are closed. They said, I said, so they are closing. It struck my mind. I said, they are closing. But I saw some police officers there, actually. They give them some time, even though the government said it's 12 p.m.
Okay,
as of 1, they were still shopping.
Wow. That's disobedience.
Because the timing is too short.
All right.
Too short, yeah.
Ushendu, now, some people say, look, if you've asked people to stay indoors and after 3 or 4 days, you say, look, you can come out and shop quickly and go back, and then we're preaching social distancing, how much of help was that going to be in ensuring that social distancing? I mean, the fact that people have to come out between those hours and shop. By the way, you monitored the markets on that day. What did you see?
I saw a large number of persons trip out to shop in various markets. But I asked myself a question: how long have they quarantined these people that came out to job in this market? Of what essence is it to say come out from social time? Are we looking at the virus itself? Does it have a time that it comes to affect people? If it does not, then we should be asking the modalities they put in place before asking people to come out. Because I know there are people that just came back. When you say the border we are closed, remember we reporters, we go to the field, we actually see what is happening. Some people are actually cross. And then what about those people that just came a day before you open the market? We are still trying to see what was the rationale behind opening of that market for some hours.
But, I mean, don't you think is? By the way, we have Sandra just joining us. You're welcome. Happy Easter too.
Thank you.
So, what do you think? I mean, the state government is also trying to be human. I mean, the closure came more like impromptu, and then, okay, let's give you 2 days to go stock, and then it was Easter celebration too. So look, go and stock up, and so that you could have something to do. Do you think that was a good step, Sandra?
That's the riskiest thing our state government have done to our people, because that day I went to several markets. I did not enter inside. I stayed outside to see the large number of crowds. For heaven's sake, how are you sure that some of these persons don't have this virus that we are trying to avoid? Sorry to say, there are we were at risk that day. I mean, River State people were at risk because yes, we all want to get food, we all want to stock up and every other thing. But we were after stocking up and you realize that you have coronavirus, are you going to be alive to eat those foods? So it was very, very risky, owing to the fact that people came out, like almost everybody had to go out there to stock, and then that social distancing wasn't observed. If you say okay, reopen the market, you were supposed to put in some persons in all these markets to ensure that they actually distance themselves. Market people to ensure that they were 1 meter away from one person, but those things weren't put in place. So why would you ask people to come together again when you are avoiding something? So I think that's just was risky.
We hope nothing negative comes out from that move. But so. I understand that the state government is also human. I mean, government is run by human. I understand that people need to also, stock up, because I mean the cries that we had after the lockdown was so huge that some people started calling government names. But I think they have the best interest of.
Yeah, but I'm not saying they shouldn't reopen the market. What I'm saying is they did not put anybody in this market.
Okay, and then it still happened. It still happened. Something happened last just yesterday or on Friday, where government also announced, look, you can go and worship after locking down for 1 week, maybe you could go and worship and for the Easter celebration, and then you go back. People like Stella, I don't know. I saw you going to church today. So what do you make of that move? Do you think it was a good one? Even though the government reversed itself after the people, complained that, look, we need to go, we need to remain in isolation like you've directed. But do you think it was a good move by the government to say, look, for Christians, you could go and do your Easter celebration?
Yes, because it's been a while. People like me went to church. And then for me, I can say that my faith was already dropping. So I needed a kind of
you needed a pastor.
I needed it.
You needed it.
I don't understand it at all.
Although there was no lockdown in churches per se. I mean, the idea is you must be 50.
Now, Stella went to church, okay? And now Stella is with us here. Now let's ask Stella, were you 50?
Actually, we are more than 50.
But don't worry, we'll not ask you to mention the name of your church so that they don't go.
No.
You can't mention the name of the church.
Just like what Stella is saying. Like for me, I went to church.
You also went to church, okay.
I've been going to church.
Okay.
What happened? Even if my auditorium can contain more than 100 with the meter stipulated. You understand? We still
you can maintain the 1 meter.
1 meter distance, even with 100 persons in the service. You know,
okay, but the rule is
50.
50.
So
the
rule said 50. But if you are
no, there was no but. The rule is 50 per church, and the rest can happen online. And like we saw today. So let's move on now. Let's move on. Like I said, we'll not mention the names of the church so that they're not going to pick your pastor. But I hope if you're listening, please let's maintain the directive is 50 in the church. And every other thing can happen online. We can pray to God wherever we are, and I believe God will answer us. On Wednesday, something happened, and this is the federal government saying that the Air Force commander in Port Harcourt, who invited the River State Governor Nyesom Wike to arrest the Cavitin helicopter pilot, the police commissioner who accompanied the Governor Wike, and the military commander who also collaborated with the governor, usurped the authority of the commander-in-chief, which is President Muhammadu Buhari. The Minister of Aviation, Heidi Sirika, said this in reaction to the arrest, prosecution, and remand of the two pilots, Samuel Buhari and Samuel Ugoji, while briefing newsmen in Abuja. Sirika said the service commander acted in gross disobedience to the president, exhibited dangerous ignorance and gross incompetence. Of course, this is happening. We know what happened on Wednesday, or was it Tuesday last week, when the governor with the commissioner of police went to the Cavitin helicopters at premises and arrested two pilots who flew into the state, even while the lockdown was still being enforced. And so the governor felt, look, this is for me to protect my people. You should have told me you were coming. You should have subjected yourself to screening. Let's know your COVID-19 status before coming in. And so he arrested the pilot. And this is the Minister of Aviation replying. Priye, do you think the crime was against the state, or was it against the federal government, if I thought there was any crime?
And first of all, we need to look at the constitution to the letter, because what the aviation minister was talking about is that the aviation sector is under the exclusive list. So the governor doesn't have the right to just move in there and start arresting them. Like, basically it's under the federal government. So I feel personally it's about communication between the state and the federal government. I think there was a missing gap there, a communication issue.
Victor, because of time we'll have to hasten up now. Do you think the governor had the right to know, that, look, a fly is coming out, an aircraft is flying into my state? Do you think he has the right to know, like we've heard from some quarters?
Chinedu, this is basic. It's elementary law. What is on the exclusive list is beyond the state government of any state. It's beyond the state government. Aviation, civil aviation, so to say, is number 3 on the exclusive list. But I do not know the rationale behind the governor's action. In the course of the week, we have heard the River State government come with a series of reasons why they had to access the Cavitin premises. But with the fact that Cavitin was given approvals, by the federal government, by the NCAA, now, why does the River State government have to access the Cavitin premises? And secondly, recall that even the governor himself, in his first broadcast, referred to the fact that the airlines is not within his purview, but he believes that the federal government, has stopped air traffic. And if the state governor knew this fact, why did he lead other service commanders into Cavitin? Now, I do not want to blame Governor Nyesom Wike entirely in total, as to why the action was taken. I think that the service commanders, the Air Force commander, the commissioner of police, even if the Minister of Aviation does not have the right, to have called them to order, because it's also not within his purview. He's a federal minister. It was within the purview of the Chief of Defense Staff, that's Major General Oloni Shakin, that was supposed to call these commanders to order. But as journalists, we know that some laws have been flouted.
Yeah, but like we say, if Naya, the Chinese doctors flew into the country. They are quarantined for 14 days. The governor is saying, look, if you're coming into my state, shouldn't you also, look, let me be sure you're free before you can do whatever you have to do? Is that too much to ask?
I think the federal government does not have respect for the state government.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, because if you actually want to send some persons down to the state, which the federal government already said there should be restriction in movement, even if they didn't put a total restriction for other states, but they said restriction, at least you should have informed the state government to say, we are bringing in certain persons to show respect.
All right. Okay, we'll take a very short break now. When we come back, we'll go straight to Thursday and Friday and we'll wrap up. Thank you.
Every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
With the dawn of the global pandemic, coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, we have been advised to self-isolate and observe social distancing rules. We at Today 95.1 FM want to tell you that while you self-isolate, it is important that you take this time out to get a skill, improve on your old and existing skills, read a book, listen to educational tapes, work out if you need to, bond with your family. Don't just spread fear and panic, self-isolate and grow. Make this time count for you. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
All right, now. You're welcome back, and this is still Big Story on Today 95.1 FM. And we've been trying to dissect some of the biggest stories that happened last week. Of course, like I say, it's a full house. If Naya, Sandra, Frida, Stella, Uchendu, Priya, and Victor, we are all here. I hope you've been enjoying yourself. And so we're talking about the controversy between the River State government and the federal government about the coveting helicopters that flew into the state last week. And the federal government feels the state government has no right to ask to be told before they can fly in. Like, according to them, is in the exclusive legislative list. But it was like a war front when we went on the break, and some people feel like the River State government is correct. Frida?
Yes. No, they are correct. The state government is correct. I said this because, okay, let's give the Chinese issue for instance. They came in, they quarantined them. So why won't the state government or this coveting, as they call themselves, why would they quarantine themselves?
But the law is law, huh?
No,
Sandra,
even if the law
is law, right?
No,
the law is the law.
Even if the law is law, the law says that if you come into a state, why are you quarantining yourself? 14 days.
The law is what is in the exclusive list, okay? The law is what is on the exclusive list.
It's an executive order of the state government. It does not supersede what is already in the constitution. Whatever the state governor does, you see what is on the exclusive list, okay, cannot be legislated upon.
Okay, I think we can go on and on and on and on and on. But I think the latest of it right now is that the minister has insisted that the two pilots that were arrested will be released, and this is word will be released, and the operations will continue because according to them,
I can assure you, okay, that the governor of River State will not budge. He will not budge. Whatever the minister says, I think is on his own. Because, I mean, Governor Williams is a dog-head governor, and he does not back down. So if he has said, if those people have been arraigned in court, and as a lawyer, he knows the implication of matters, of talking about matters in court. I don't think Governor Wike will want to talk about it again until the May 19th, when the matter will be properly held before the government speaks.
Okay, Victor, if I may come in, remember initially the order from the court says they should go to Nigerian Correctional Service But what happened now?
But we heard they are kept in.
Yeah,
but there was a
hotel.
variation order that was obtained.
Yes,
by the Attorney General.
Yeah, that's why when Minister of Aviation said they will not be prosecuted,
they will no conviction will be on them.
We don't argue over that because they have seen the ground.
Well, I know it's in court. Like lawyers will say, we cannot discuss the matter that is already in court. So let's wait and see how it pans out. And so we go head straight to Thursday. On Thursday, the federal government said Nigerians abroad who wish to be evacuated must test negative for COVID-19. The NIDCOM chairman, Abike Dabiri Arewa, had announced that the financial implications of the evacuation will be paid by the evacuees. Dabiri says such persons will also be on compulsory quarantine for 14 days on arrival in Nigeria at an NCDC-approved location. I mean, is there really any need to evacuate Nigerians who are not currently in Nigeria? I mean, they said some Nigerians have indicated interest to come back to the country. Like we see the US coming to Nigeria and other countries to evacuate their own citizens. Should we also toe the same line? Do you think we should toe the same line?
Yes, I think so. Yes, I think we should bring back our citizens because if you are in a foreign land, definitely you are in a foreign land. You're a stranger there. So you need to come home where you feel at home, you feel safer. And like we always say, there are some medical insurance that a citizen of a country will possibly get that a foreigner will not get. Yeah, some free how would I put it? Free medical scheme for their citizens. I think it will affect nations that doesn't really accept foreigners that much. So if you know you're a foreigner, then you have to come back to your country.
In the wake of this virus, that was the time the Nigerian Senate, somebody, a lawmaker in the House of Representatives, by the way, attempted to move a motion that the federal government should evacuate Nigerians who are in Wuhan, which is where this whole thing started. And the lawmakers said no. I mean, the generality of the lawmakers, House of Representatives, said no. I think the reason was because they feel the Chinese health system is better than that of Nigerian health system. Right? Do you think, where do you think is safer really for these people? I mean, Nigeria or?
Well, I think it's a two-way thing. For a country that is not, what would I call it? They are not racist, that would attend to every patient equally according to how you feel. I think for those countries, Nigerians can stay back. But for the places where they don't feel safe, for places where they feel if by any means we contract this virus, we won't be attended to, I think they should come back.
All right. So
it's not a matter of medical health system.
Okay, still on Thursday, okay, this was when the 15-man medical expert from China came into Nigeria, and of course they went straight to observing the 14 days compulsory isolation. But something happened. Is like we heard that they chose the place that they were supposed to be isolated. Stella, you think they had the right to say, look, this is where I want to be isolated? Shouldn't the federal government be saying, look, I think you better here? Why did they have to allow them to choose where they will be isolated? Are they, I mean?
Well, given that they're here to help us, I think
it was right for them.
It was not right, no, because why would they know where
it's safe?
It's safer to keep them.
Yeah, and then the argument is like they're already dictating for the government how they should be treated.
That's bad.
That's
bad. I mean, sending a good signal at all.
Do you think it matters, Victor? Really?
I think it's a matter of security, national security. The National Security Agency is supposed to have looked into that, especially because it's China. Nigerians are a little anxious and agitated about their presence, and because they are coming in for the first time, to help us quote, they shouldn't have been allowed to select or choose where they're supposed to be isolated. But I know because of diplomatic reasons, the federal government would have wanted to agree.
Because right now it seems like we are the one who needs help.
Yes, so the federal government would have wanted to agree with them, but in its real sense, it is not right. They are supposed to be where Nigerians should approve for them, and then the federal government should be able, to also be on the side of Nigerians. Nigerians are agitated, and because they're agitated, these people, everything they do has to be in the open. People have to know that, okay, our federal government is in total control of these visitors, and not that they are choosing where they are supposed to be, whether in Lagos or Abuja or in some hotel or in their council. So I think it was wrong, a wrong decision.
You think totally it was wrong, Sandra?
Yeah, it's wrong.
And Frida, you think? Okay, go ahead.
It's wrong. Like, you're not supposed to tell us where you want to stay.
Does it matter?
We own the country, so we should tell you where we think is safe for you.
I'm not even happy that they are here because we have so many doctors.
Okay, I know you don't even want them to hear. Which end do?
Why are you a doctor?
Because we have so many doctors that can do the job.
We don't have enough doctors.
We have enough doctors. We have doctors that are not employed.
The thing is, why don't we have enough doctors? And they have.
No, I think
our system should do something.
For me, they have the right to choose
where they want to
be.
I don't think they should.
Let's get to reason.
Listen, before we invited them, and we are.
No. I think I have to correct that. The minister has clarified that they didn't invite.
Yeah.
These are people that said.
Compressed
I think
social
their company here said we have people that can help. They could help.
They said they have
so
people that can.
Federal government only accepted the offer. I mean,
and
you really have no choice.
Decided to come. Remember, the place, wherever in Nigeria has been on this sideline. They are aware of every hospital, every hotel in Nigeria, and they've been hearing as experts. They should choose where they think it's like,
safe for them.
It's like someone that is sick, and you'll be hearing let's say UPTH, BMH, this health center here from Aba. If you're coming to River State, you should know that for government-owned hospital, that UPTH should have more facility than which other one. So
you don't trust that the government can tell them, look, I think this place is safe for you, and we need to also monitor you. We need to also be sure, because I mean, there was a lot of mistrust basically about them coming in. Some say, look, and when they went to Italy, the death rate increased. Why are you bringing them to Nigeria? There's a lot of controversy, a lot of mistrust basically. And you think the federal government shouldn't really, like Victor said, be on the side of the people and say, look, let's tell you what to do, how to do. Yeah, you offered the help, we accepted the help, but we should also, tell you how you should operate when you come to our country. You think that's not necessary?
Well,
basically,
it's a two-way thing.
Okay.
What happened to them if federal government has asked them to stay? Something else happened.
What could really happen?
Anything can happen.
All right, so now we are on Friday, and this is coming from the Minister of Power, Saleh Maman, said the federal government was yet to take a decision on the supply of free electricity to Nigerians from the electricity distribution companies across in the country. In his Twitter handle, the minister explained that the government would make the announcement officially when it takes decision to provide free electricity to customers. His tweet reads, quote, "Please note, no decision has been taken by the federal government to provide Nigerian free electricity for 2 months. If and when that becomes a reality, it shall be officially announced." And of course, the minister assured that the federal government was exploring ways to ameliorate any hardship on Nigeria, of course, caused by the lockdown almost across the country. Some people have offered to give us free electricity. I think we also need free education. Free electricity for 2. Should we really waste time in accepting this offer, Ifunaya?
Okay, I think they should. If they don't do it now, when is the right time?
Yeah,
if they're actually thinking and saying,
we're almost off the hook, right?
Yeah, if they're saying if it becomes a reality, when exactly is the best time, if not now? So if they keep postponing and then in the next few weeks or few months, Nigeria comes, to deal with the virus.
So we don't need it again then?
No, we still need it, but I think this is, the best time when they will give people,
Why do you think we have to, Sandra, why do you think we have to really this has to drag. The discos have said we are ready to offer. I mean, it should be as quick for me, as quick as the next day you said, okay, let's start work. Why do we still have to now wait on, like you said, when and if? I think that was the word, if and when. That means we're not even sure it's going to happen. Why?
I don't see why they should drag this thing, because I think in River State here, for example, where they hardly give us light. So saying they are going to give us for 2 months, I'm not sure they are supposed to drag it. I think that's one of the things that they are supposed to do. It's one of the things they owe us that little thing to do for us.
Yeah, basically, if you're telling people to stay at home,
they should be able to stay at home. Some persons cannot afford to stay at home.
Because it's boring at home.
You need your refrigerator. Not even about you need your refrigerator to at least keep those things, store those things that at least you've stocked up, you've bought that you really need to. So for those of us that cannot afford to stay at home, they need to do this thing as fast and as quick as possible. They shouldn't argue over it, and there shouldn't be a time. They shouldn't even think about it.
Should we start now, Stella?
I think the government does not want to pay money.
They should pay.
They
should pay. They should pay because they don't even give us light as often as they ought to.
They don't give you light, but they give some other people.
They don't give us light.
But they are offering. I don't think the federal government is paying. If it's free, what it means is that the people who pay for the lights will not pay. But they've said it's going to be free. They said, look, we are ready to offer.
It's going to be free for Nigerians.
Yes.
But someone has to bear the cost.
They are bearing the cost.
And it's not the federal government.
They said the cost. They said they're doing us free.
Hold on, this is COVID-19 and it's affecting everybody. If at the end of it we don't have money to pay electricity bills, how will they also survive?
No,
what
but they
if we
said,
die and we don't survive this thing, and they also don't have money to. They don't get the money at the end of the day. So they should also suffer it. Because our economy is also suffering it. Every sector in Nigeria should suffer it. You have to lose something to make sure that people are safe. So, you cannot go outside to. They need to.
Should they give us free? No cost at all. I don't know. Victor is saying they have to pay. They have to. Something has to be paid at least. Who do you think really should be paying for that? But the federal government is not ready.
Well, no.
And now, what I'm saying is, look, the disco say we are ready to offer 2 months. I don't think there is any part they said the federal government will have to pay for the what I don't.
There will be underlying. I can assure you there will be underlying conditions.
Does it mean that the discos are trying to deceive us because they are saying that free 2 months free?
Now wait, let me explain something to you. Power is generated through gas. Okay, the federal government owns the gas. The gas stations and the power stations are owned by these private entities. Now, if the discos are saying we are ready,
so it means the federal government.
Now the federal government must be able to give them free gas for those 2 months.
And I think that's why
the minister is trying to because you need that something will go out.
Discos are the one that actually brought the idea of free electricity. I think it was the House of Reps that suggested that.
And then do not forget, we've also heard from the electricity distribution companies, the Ikeja, Port Harcourt, and the Edo to Benin electricity distribution companies, saying that this is still on paper. It's going to be workable, but it's still on paper because it has not been.
I think it should just they should just go ahead and do it. There's no big deal there. If it's to provide gas, let the federal government provide the gas.
Yes.
What is there?
Don't mind the federal
government.
They're trying to play pranks.
The same gas that we are producing the gas here. So
yes,
it will take them nothing.
It will take them
even
nothing.
if it takes them something. We are something.
Even if it costs them that, whatever it is. I mean, 2 months free electricity, that would be nice. But it has not started though. This is just they are still for. It has not started.
Then I will suggest after the electricity, landlords also
should give us at least 6 months free.
In Uganda, the president told the landlords
you must not charge.
To suspend
Rent.
Collection.
6 months.
Collection of rent.
Rent for 6
that's
months.
But that's in Uganda. And we don't know the cost of housing in Uganda. The cost of housing in Nigeria or a Port Harcourt, Lagos,
very expensive.
It's quite high.
It's very expensive. And I do not think that the government will want to do that.
We are talking about making
landlord,
sacrifice.
yes.
It's all about making sacrifice in this time.
No, you see the landlord that brought coronavirus.
No. See, they can just do it. It will
These
take
are
them
bigger
nothing.
people. It's like you
How do
saying
you
you
know?
should go out with your food stuff.
All right.
The people
They
Is-
can do it. Talking about the landlords that have
Let's
money.
hope.
They should do it for me, I
Let's just
beg.
hope that the discos have said they will do it. Let's start from there before we go into the landlords and transporters.
Landlords will start chasing
And
us
that's where
now.
we draw the curtain on today's edition. Actually, this week's edition of the Big Stories. It's been an interesting ride, and I hope you did enjoy yourself. Do we have any messages? Okay, no time to take the messages. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, my colleagues, for joining me too. Next week, we'll bring you more big stories. We'll be hoping to see the outcome of the Chinese doctors that came to Nigeria. We're hoping to see the outcome of their visit, and I hope it turns out to be positive. Meanwhile, we have 5 people. We just had 5 people have been discharged in Lagos from Lagos isolation centers. So that's some cheering news, maybe some Easter gift from God to us. Thank you. My name is Chinedi Owuna. See you next week.
Today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Mama bon boy, what happened? What be all this one?
My brother, I don't know.
Run for wetin? What did happen? Everybody just dey run. Everywhere scatter. What did happen?
That woman for junction. He say, her friend come tell her say, person tell her friend say, coronavirus don enter town. E dey kill people.
Which one be corona?
Corona. E dey kill people. Hey, Bambai, where your sister? Wanna enter house?
What is going on?
Wanna enter house? Oh,
Lock
that door. Fast. Lock am. Nkechi, lock that window. Man says corona wan use enter this house. Lock am.
Remember, there is no need to panic. Fear kills faster.
The coronavirus is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. The best way to prevent and slow down transmission is to be well informed about the virus. Protect yourself and others from this infection. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or clean them with alcohol-based sanitizer. Maintain at least 1 meter distance between you and people coughing or sneezing. Stay at home if you feel unwell. The virus spreads through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose. It is important that you practice respiratory etiquette. At this point, there are no given vaccines or treatments for the coronavirus. The World Health Organization will continue to provide updates as soon as clinical findings become available. So stay informed. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Today 95.1 FM,
morning.
good morning.
My name is Ifeanyi. I'm calling you from... Hello?
Yes, Today 95.1 FM, good morning.
My name is William. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, William from Port Harcourt, go ahead.
Talk radio.
You have a right to say no, right? All
I'm
right.
calling from Unipua.
Okay, thank you so much from Yenagua.
We are the station that needs no introduction. Of course, you know, we give the best in news, sports,
You like football, right?
entertainment, politics, in fact, call it talk.
Yes, we know there's a lot you want to hear, and that is why we talk about everything.
Talk radio.
We're right before you. It's just a dial away. This is your number one premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the name is the one who made the public know about.
Good afternoon and welcome to the world news on your premium talk radio station.
We are your premium talk radio station. Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
Hello. My name is Mary. I happy to come share this wonderful opportunity with you now. This opportunity in the column, daily income stores opportunity. This store now one store we don't day for 13 years. This store is approved by the government. This store, the product where they get inside get NAFDAC number. This store, ma tell you, it don't change plenty people life, including me myself where they talk to now. Yes, one day like this I did for my house. For radio now I hear am. We are just sit down, they think how my life won't be. I hear say if I shop one time, drop my account number. Say as other people they shop after me, now so I go begin they get pay. I say, make I go try. My dear brothers and sisters, now I carry my leg, walk I go there. When I reach there, I see say this shop they get products. Which kind of product they get? They get toothpaste. Where every day they go they shop, they know they tell me anything. Then they give me nylon bag where they write thank you. Now so I shop. As I drop my account number, few days later, because other people don't come shop after me, I begin they get pay. You where they hear me, gather your things, carry your phone near your body. Make I give you phone number where you go text enjoy to sharp. Yes, because you need to text enjoy to this number. The number now
0805 896 6288 0805 896 6288. Again, 0805 896 6288.
As my sister done the talk go, so we are still on the matter of daily income stores. A lot of persons now go the one that say, I never hear of this store before. I don't hear, but I never go there, I never shop. Now waiting, I feel shop for this daily income stores. And why this store can't be different from other ones? First, waiting if you shop from daily income stores. We get things like soap, we get things like toothpaste, you get things like beverages, things where they use every day for your house. And all these things where we get for these daily income stores, all of them are NAFDAC certified, because the company no be new one, is already 13 years old in over 100 countries of the world. In Nigeria here, we don't day 7 years old. But this city where we did so, we don't pass 4 years for this city. Now, some persons go to wonder, say, what is the difference between this store and the other ones where I don't go, they buy things? Yes, you don't they go, they buy things, soap, toothpaste, beverages every day from different stores. But nobody don't ever tell you, say, you go drop your account number. But for daily income stores, as you the shop finish, you go drop your account number so that as other persons, they do their own shopping. Now, so you say we can't get alert every day as people they shop after you. Because as we talk now, some people still they wonder, is it real? Is it possible? Now, just like when ATM be first come out, a lot of persons don't believe, say, with your ATM, if you go bank, go there, go slot in that card, and money will come out. Some people, when mobile banking come out, they don't believe, say, if you sit down for your room, they do send money, give for another person account. Now, the same thing where they happen for daily income stores now, where you go do only shopping. As you the shop finish, you go drop your account number. Then you go come, they get paid as other people shop after you from daily income stores. And that's why they hold program to show people how this store they work. And for you to be part of this program, you need to send us message. Just send us enjoy, put for this number so that you go get the place where the program go happen.
The number now
0805 896 6288. 0805 896 6288. Again, 0805 896 6288.
The time na 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Just text enjoy.
Wetin I dey find? Kaluba dey find.
E be like say una no dey feel wetin me dey feel for here. When me first say of daily income store, I say, e no fit happen. Me, I dey doubt am. But the day when I go daily income store, I come realize the daily income store be like every other store. When you go buy wetin you wan buy, you pay your money, then give you the product. But wetin different from daily income store be say, as you dey comot, they will tell you say make you drop your account number, because any day, anytime, anybody shop after you, the company go pay you money. Me, I don dey make money for daily income store. If everybody think say na the analog life wey we dey live, na people dey take dey make money, the world don change. Daily income store na innovation. Daily income store dey open our eye to so many things. Thing wey be say 10 years ago, they go say na lie, na juju, e no fit happen. Today, e don real. When me hear, I say e no go happen. But today, na me dey tell you, say may you not be me wey down daily income stores for 3 years. I no gree go daily income store until one day I waka say my eye, I go take and see wetin dey here. So now I waka go daily income store, and I dey tell you say may you not waste time. Come to this shopping where dem go shop, because na 2 times we dey shop a day. 11 o'clock, 4 o'clock we go shop. And for you to come, abeg, just text enjoy to this number
0805 896 6288. 0805 896 6288.
We get another of our serious partner for the house of how he shop one time from this month, and today he still dey receive daily alert every day. Sir, I be over to you.
My people, I dey greet because my life don change. I go use service, I come back. I no get work. 1 year pass, 2 years pass, 3 years pass. Certificate don dey rotten for my hand. Now I can't hear daily income stores radio. Now I can't say, oh boy, make I go see. After all, nothing I go lose. They no go force me, make I shop if I no want shop. Now after the program, I can't say, oh boy, na real. Now I can't shop soap, shop toothpaste, shop those things why they use. It there for hamper. I don't forget to drop my account number. Surprisingly, as people come they shop after me, now I can't they get daily alert. I carry my face and I get alert. I no believe, but Nigeria boy, why I be? I go ATM, go confirm, say why the money where they pay for my phone, why they enter my account? I go withdraw the money, can't time the money complete. Now I say, oh boy, this thing I know keep quiet for the thing. Now I tell my papa, tell my mama, tell everybody around me, say, oh boy, go to shop. So they didn't come stores now real. We all the product where they store, either an NAFDAC certified. All the product where they store they sell in a good product. So we they use them every day. And the good thing about daily income store is say not only once you carry shop for this store, come drop your account number, and they store on the 8 years for Nigeria now. 7 years, this makes us 8 years. Don't date 18 years over 100 countries. Now this is gonna make up 14 years. So make you know come they fast the data and say, is they real? You know they real. When person no name big pass them. No before you go take no say two yam they enter two for bush. You know go no. Now bush you can't go find out for yourself. No let's say me person come go come they tell you waiting the year. No they data for third party form. Come see for yourself. They say seeing now believing. Come no because you are not innovated. You become outdated. Whether you shop, you know shop. Now they will give first 20 people free products. Whether you shop, you know shop. Time now the program now 2 sections we get to 11 o'clock on day, 4 o'clock on day for those who they work. For you to battle this event, you need to send us text. Maybe for keep seat for you because we know say the hall they always the full. Maybe we know for come you can't stand for back. I beg send your text, your name, your location where they come and the time we go attend this program and put them enjoy because people want enjoy life. Now they come for this program.
Make I give you phone number where you go text enjoy to sharp. Yes, because you need to text enjoy to this number. The number now
0805 896 6288. 0805 896 6288. Again, 0805 896 6288.
Okay, if you are born poor, no be your fault. But if you die poor, not your fault. If you hear this kind of thing, I mean, you come see for say, seeing is what? Believing.
I know that some people don't already they think outside. They say maybe this shop where they talk so no be for everybody. My dear, make I tell you now, this shopping are for everybody, for every serious-minded person. You where they use soap, you where they use toothpaste, you everybody, you where they drink tea. Yes, this shop now for you. Me, you carry your leg, walker come inside, come do your shopping, carry your product, go they enjoy. Then on top, as people they shop after you, money go they enter your pocket. I would wait to see you there. Make a quick call the number for you again, no, because I know 1 year where you tell me story say now because of one thing or the other, now I make you no fee come. So carry your biro. The number now
0805 896 6288. 0805 896 6288. Again, 0805 896 6288.
You where they hear me, gather your things, carry your phone near your body. Make I give you phone number where you go text enjoy to sharp. Yes, because you need to text enjoy to this number. The number now
0805 896 6288.
We are from Daily Income Stores. Thank you so much. God bless you now.
Thank you very much.
If I get the money, you go know. Say like go out to the
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
All right, so it's actually 6 minutes gone past the hour of 9 o'clock, and of course, it still is this 12th day in the month of April 2020. It's the second Sunday in the month, and like you well know, the year is slowly but surely rolling past. You're welcome to another exciting edition of the program that is known as Trending Stories, right here on the Voice of the People, Today 95.1 FM. My name is Kuku Greg, and if this is your very first time of tuning into the program, well, what we do right here is, we take a look at some topical issues, some unfolding stories, stories that affect the state, the region, the polity in general, stories that affect the country, the state of the nation, and the world at large. And so we get to air our various opinions, we get to let our views known right here on this dial. That's the reason we're being known as the voice of the people. So now is the time when you get to let someone tell some other person to call someone or even text someone and, just call out and let someone know that Trending Stories is right about now, live on your radio. Okay, well, let's take a look at some of the unfolding events with regards COVID-19 or coronavirus, like you might choose to call it. Okay, first of all, Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has sent an urgent message to the National Assembly. Now, what's the message? It's urging the National Assembly to immediately make a public commitment to redirect the 37 billion naira for the renovation of the National Assembly complex, to give 1 billion naira to each of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Now, you might recall, you might want to remember that, the National Assembly some time ago, made a proposal for the use of 37 billion naira. What for? For the renovation of the National Assembly complex. And I can actually see someone's jaw drop right now. 37, I'm not talking about million right now. I'm not saying million. No, not million. Billion naira, 37 billion naira for renovation of the National Assembly complex. And then someone was actually asking me, are they planning on shifting the complex and taking it and situating it somewhere in the air, like somewhere in the atmosphere? Oh my. So SERAP right here is saying, well, the National Assembly should consider giving 1 billion naira to each of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Now, SERAP believes that would serve better as COVID-19 direct reliefs and benefits to the country's poorest and most vulnerable people. Since all of the palliatives that the federal government is rolling out, most people are saying I haven't seen anything. Now, I actually took out time to communicate with a couple of people. I have friends, I have people almost in every state of the country. You have to believe me right now. I'm that well traveled. So I took out time to call most people. Now, I'm talking about, let me say 11 states right now. Yeah, 11 states. I took out time to call most people, and none of those people agreed to having seen or received any of the palliatives. So I'm just sitting down here. I'm just wondering, like, where exactly are these things being distributed? Where are they being distributed? Okay, only one person actually did attest to the fact that he saw, he didn't receive. Some other person said she received. And these two people are residents in Lagos State. They are residents in Lagos State. So I only got positive reports from Lagos State that, I happen to see, palliatives. I happen to see foodstuffs. I happen to see even Naira. Even some cash amounts, paltry cash amounts getting distributed to people. And then the lady said, I actually did receive some food items. Although very, very minute, if I can put it that way, very, very little food items, but I did receive. But I haven't heard the same thing from any other part of the country, and so I'm just wondering, maybe I'm not my correspondent. Maybe the people who have been giving me these reports are not. How do I put it right now? Are not adequately covering the entire length and breadth of the geographical location that is supposed to be covered, or maybe they are not, demographically situated at the exact point where these palliatives are being distributed. I think I just put it that way. So Sarah believes that these funds, the 37 billion naira, will be better put to use as COVID-19 direct reliefs and benefits to the country's poorest and most vulnerable people. Serap, in a letter signed by its Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, said that Nigeria is at a crossroads and National Assembly leaders and members must now decide whether to continue to look after themselves and do little for the country's poorest people. The organization said it is concerned that the prevailing situation has taken its toll on the country's poorest and most vulnerable people who continue to endure the grimest of conditions in several states and the FCT. Serap also appealed to the National Assembly to immediately advise President Muhammadu Buhari and the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to urgently implement the lawmakers' commitment to redirect the 37 billion naira to the vulnerable people in the country. So regarding this, I'm just asking. I just love to know. Or hear from you. I just love to get your views on this one. What do you think? Are you on the side of Serap? Do you think right now what the country needs is the distribution of these 37 billion naira to the 36 states of the Federation for better response regarding the COVID-19 pandemic? Or do you still think, are you still one of those who believe, well, I think it's a welcome idea to put the 37 billion naira to use in terms of renovating the National Assembly complex? So 37 billion to be distributed amongst the 36 states of the country and the FCT, or to be put to use for the renovation of the National Assembly complex. Now, this is just one of the issues that I'm laying out on the table tonight on Trending Topics, and you can get to call at any point in time on the show. Call in and let your views be known. Call in and let me get to hear what you think, what your opinion is. You can get to call me on the studio lines, which are 0817 0000951. That's 0817 0000951. And of course, 0810 9510 951. Once again, those numbers are 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510 951. And then for those of you who would love to send text or WhatsApp messages, the numbers to do that too is 0701 9339 962. That's 0701 9339 962. So the National Assembly came forward some time ago and said, well, we propose the use of 37 billion naira to renovate our complex, to renovate the National Assembly complex. And then Serap comes forward today and says, share the 37 billion naira amongst the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT, because that money could be better put to use as COVID-19 direct reliefs and benefits to the country's poorest and most vulnerable people. Okay? Other issues are still going to be laid out on the table in course of the program. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Yeah, this is Pastor Isaiah George from Buguma and Calabar.
Happy Sunday, Pastor Isaiah. Welcome.
Yes, you are welcome, my brother. You see, I think the National Assembly is taking the nation for a ride that I think we need to call them to order.
Okay.
We cannot be watching and looking at these people who treating the country as if they are at the heavenly realm and others are languishing in the airfire, and they feel nothing about it. How can you share 35 billion naira? You are still thinking of renovating National Assembly as it stands now, when we have already told them that even the budget of the country for this year should be channeled into the fight against this virus, because the virus, you can see as it stands now, do you see any one of them traveling abroad? If the thing is biting other year and maybe the West world is free, I think by now they all should have been running and they should have taken their covers over there. But because they are here and they are safe at home, even those who are being so much attacked in the West world are trying to come back home, because at least it is at least we have some rest at home here than it is over there. So why can't they just bring this money and let us make life more so palatable for people to live? And they are still thinking of using. You see, these people are not sincere, and that's why we say they are not there for the interest. They are not representing anybody. They are only representing themselves, their children, and their wives alone. Not even any member of their extended member or nuclear member of their family. Are you hearing me? So
yeah, I'm
I
with
think
you.
Nigerians should.
So summarily, Pastor Isaiah, you're on the side. You'd love to toe the path of Serap, right?
Serap should not stop at only saying it. They should go ahead by instituting a legal framework against them,
okay.
so that the world, the nation, these people, because they are heartless. They are heartless people. I am telling you, the senior president, I think some days ago, came out and was telling the executive to make sure that the sharing formula of 20,000 should go around the 36 states. But in their own part, I keep saying it, when Kenya was in a big mess as a country, the National Assembly, the parliamentary, came out, reduced their money back, make sure that the money back they take home at every time, they cut it down and they make sure that things go well, so that the country can.
All right, thank you very much, Pastor Isaiah. I have to let you go now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in. 95.1 FM. Good evening. I lost that one. The phone lines are still very much open. The show is Trending Topics right here on the Voice of the People. Today 95.1 FM. And the phone lines are 0817 0000951 and 0810 951 951. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Good evening.
I greet you.
Happy Easter to you.
Oh, welcome to the show. Go ahead. Okwando, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
I am on the side of Sarah. Our assemblymen have not shown concern to the plight of average Nigerians. You remember the last time they bought cars and shared among themselves. Without recognizing the fact that many Nigerians are hungry, poor and unemployed. I think that 37 billion let them bring it out. Let it be shared to all the states. But never to be given to the governors.
Okay.
Never to be given to the governors, because that will be another drain pipe.
So how exactly would you propose it gets distributed, if not through the governors?
My brother, if it is given it to the governors, my brother, let it go back to where it came from. they can share it.
Okay.
There is a record of all the Nigerians according to the state in electoral commission or census board. So I am on the path of therapy, because look at the world all over now. Everybody, there is economic crisis in everywhere. And the National Assembly wants to take 37 billion to innovate what? No, that cannot happen.
All right.
Let's bring the money to the state, but let them never give it to the government.
All right. Thank you very much, Okwando. Thank you so much. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Name and location.
Yeah, my name is John, calling from Abuja.
All right. Welcome, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, please, there's something I want to clarify about this release material. We in my chama here, last week Thursday, they came to our area, which they gave us the rice.
Okay, John, where exactly are you calling from? Are you calling from Abuja?
Yes, I'm calling from my chama here, which is Gariwe.
All right, go ahead.
So I was given 20,000 cash. They gave me gari, yam, and beans and rice.
Oh, you were given 20,000 naira cash?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And they gave me gari. I think that gari is more than a pence and a half.
Okay.
And two yam. And the rice, I think, is 2 rubber pence. This is a small bag. With Maggi, half packet of Maggi. That's what they gave to me. That was on Thursday.
Thursday last week?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, at least it feels good. It feels good to know that there are people who have actually received, some of these much talked about palliatives. That's one confirmation right there. And I mean, it actually does make me feel good. This exactly is what I'd love to be hearing right here on the show. So that's why I said, if you're one of those who have been a beneficiary of, any of the foodstuffs, any of the relief material, so to speak, any of the palliatives that has been distributed in any part of the country, in any state whatsoever, please do well to call in right now on the show. Do well to call in on the show. So it doesn't look like the government is just all talk, all mouth, and no action. We'd love to get testimonies. We'd really love to have people call in and tell us, look, I'm one of those who has received these much talked about palliatives. 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510951. Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Okay.
Yeah. Name and location, please.
Yes, my name is Olo Loki and I'm calling you from
Mba in Eche. All right, go ahead, Lucky.
Yes. I want to say that the National Assembly, they shouldn't even renovate any complex with 37 billion for Nigeria. And not to even share it to any state. That's just my own. They shouldn't even share it to any state.
Okay.
Take for instance now, Rivers State now is studying. The relief material they are sharing it to citizens, the first class of Rivers State, which is Obiako and Port Harcourt cities. That is the only city. But we were told that CDP chairman, and in the first place, that chairmanship, the chairman of PDP shouldn't have been the head of that committee. They should have looked for a neutral person, because we we are looking at that party PDP chairman as maybe party affair because of the person that is mounting that that position. But what I'm saying is that we are aware that the chairman, the 23 local government chairman is also part of that committee. They should have shared it to the 23 local government chairman. Go to your various states, or even the 23 PDP.
Lucky, are you one of those who have received these food items?
No, nothing, because they are still looking at only Obiako and Port Harcourt. Only Obiako, even the people that speak commenting is only Obiako and Port Harcourt. What happened to other local government areas? They should use this material and dispose it to all the 23 local governments. Share to your people, all the PDP chairman in all these SGS. Share it to your people since it's a party affair. So that other people that is not in this PDP or this party go and look for your own people. We are also looking at other political parties to also be in this committee. If they should make Senator Magnus have a part of this committee, we should have by now been.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I have your thoughts. I have your thoughts, Lucky. I have your thoughts, Lucky. Thank you so much for calling in. Well, for those of you who are trying to get phone calls across but experiencing difficulties, you can do well to send text or WhatsApp messages to the number 0701 9339 962. Now, I did say I was going to bring to you issues exactly as they unfold in the course of the show. So right now, another advocacy group, away from SERAP right now, another advocacy group, Human and Environmental Development Agenda, has warned the federal government. Now, what's the warning about? They have warned the federal government against mixing up the recovered $322 million Abacha loot, which they said is being shared to the poor Nigerians. They've warned them against mixing up this Abacha loot with the COVID-19 funds that have been donated by philanthropists. The group said the government must let Nigerians know that the $322 million Abacha loot being shared at 5,000, is it 5,000 right now? Is it 5,000? Okay, someone just called me and said he received 20,000 cash, all right? Now, they said that the government must let Nigerians know that the $322 million Abacha loot that is being shared as 5,000 naira conditional cash transfer is not the same. Is not the same as the palliative to cushion the economic effect of COVID-19 lockdown on the masses. In a statement on Sunday, that is today, by its chairman, Olanrewaju Suraju, HIDA particularly accused the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Sadia Farouk, of attempting to confuse the conditional cash transfer, which began in 2016 with government's COVID-19 funds. HIDA, which said it had been monitoring the 5,000 conditional cash transfer, said only 900,000 households had benefited, contrary to the claim that over 2 million households had been reached. While saying it was following donations to the federal and state governments towards tackling COVID-19, the group said it would demand accountability and warned the government not to play politics with the plight of the Nigerian poor masses. HIDA said, and I quote, "The least we owe Nigerians is not to play politics with the misery of millions of people. The fact is that the conditional cash transfer began in 2016. It should not be confused with any measure of any government to tackle the hunger and poverty occasioned by the lockdown. They are two different, distinct programs. One cannot substitute for the other." The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management is suspected to have deliberately acted in this manner to blur the line of accountability, disguising the conditional cash transfer as payment under the COVID-19 intervention and relief package. The payment presently is only made to about 900,000 households and not over 2 million, as claimed by the minister. The citizens are also hereby informed that the 20,000 naira being paid is part of the recovered Abacha loot paid to the country since 2015 under the National Social Intervention Program and not part of contributions from private citizens and organizations. Meanwhile, a coalition of civil society organizations also called on the federal government to put structures in place to ensure transparency and accountability in the spending of the COVID-19 funds. The call was made in a joint statement by the CSOs, including Action Aid International Nigeria, Action Health Incorporated, Center for Women's Health, and Information. So there you have it. Yet another advocacy group coming forward to say, well, please, federal government, do not mix up the recovered $322 million Abacha loot that is being shared to poor Nigerians. Do not mix it up. Do not mix that up with the COVID-19 funds that have been donated by philanthropists. All right. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, Mr. Kegre.
Good evening, Mr. Sam. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, I wish you a very good Easter. Mr. Kegre, you see, in time memorial, what we have been experiencing in this country is deceit upon deceit and fraud upon fraud. You see, look at the bogus kind of amount of money these men are talking about to go and renovate a complex that this man has been there using to siphon money for themselves. They are talking about to go and renovate it again, whereby look at the common Nigerians suffering on the street, even those who came out from university, have not found job to do. Why can't they use this money to put on small industry, at least in every state or local government, or one way or the other?
So you're not even towing the path of Serap right now.
You see, Serap, they are on point.
Okay.
The thing is that if they share this money now, Mr. Kegre, will this money go where? That is the problem. So Serap should find another way to hold these people responsible to set up small industry where they will monitor it and follow it up. Because when it comes about sharing of money, Mr. Kegre, you cannot monitor it. It's very difficult to monitor.
But other countries have been monitoring effectively. I mean, palliatives were distributed in Italy. Same was done in Spain. I happened to see some of the videos, and it was done very, very. In a very organized manner.
Mr. Kegre, what they used to tell us that when you are going to Lagos, they will say this is Lagos. And Nigeria, when you are coming, you need to know that this is Nigeria. So if they do it in another country and they succeed, Nigeria. But you know, when they put on structure like this, we the people too can be able to monitor it. Now, when you see the deception that is going on, as I'm talking about, I was listening on the radio. You see, NDDC here, is it the minister of NDDC, has released money to all these Niger Delta state, billions of naira. But these men, they have not come to tell us about the money. It has been silent. And they have even shared to some YouTube. And also, Mr. Kegre, in as much as we are in the era of advocating for our well-being, I don't know whether I will just take you back little so that it's something we need to.
No, we do not have time for that right now. I think I really need to talk to some other callers. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Coco, good evening.
I greet you.
This is DK.
DK, welcome. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, my brother. See, concerning Serap's position, is Serap saying that state government are better manager of resources? Because for me, you have a large percentage of the VAT money.
Well, I don't think that's what they are saying. I don't think they are saying state governors or governments are better managers of the money. I think what they are simply saying is the funds could be put to better use as direct reliefs and benefits to the in quote poorest and most vulnerable that the federal government has been talking about.
That is the point I'm trying to make.
As against renovating an assembly complex.
Yes, I support their position to abandon the renovation of the National Assembly, which in the first place was even an inflated sum. But to channel these resources through state government is what I do not support. Because a lot of monies have been going through state government without any result. That's why I said, instead of considering state government as a better manager of resources, if you want to give any palliative to the Nigerian people, why not pass it through Red Cross, which have been doing well, even in wartime? Okay, look at this one so far. Let's take Rivers State, for instance. It has become a party affair. PDP from PDP members. And you still want to put more money through state government. Any state government for that matter. I do not support it. Just that we are used to share culture in this country. Sharing federal allocation, sharing everything that comes. Is this not even a better time to channel such funds to put health centers, teaching hospitals, federal medical centers in each state in better position? But Mustafa, the secretary to federal government, came and said he's shocked to see the deplorable condition of a health center in this country. So why not channel the money to fix the hospitals? Why not even use that money to pay hospital bill to those who cannot afford? I even view them as the most vulnerable. Because some persons are still dying because of inability to pay a health bill. Why not even use it to subsidize a food item, essential food item? Because if you want to do the share thing, you will not even get to 2% of the population. Out of this fund that they are talking about, you will see many skyscrapers in Dubai and Abuja built by those who are managing this money. This is the country we belong to. Nothing good will come out of it.
All right.
I do not support a state position that money should be given to state government or channeled through state government. It will become party affair, as we have seen it already. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, DK, for calling in. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Kegren.
Chris.
Yeah. Good evening.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Chris. I'm calling from Port Harcourt. The money they are talking about vulnerable people and they are sharing, and some people are making confession that they have received. And let me see something now. Is South and South is it part of Nigeria?
Why not?
Okay. Have you heard any day that somebody from South East or South told you or called you that he received funding from federal government?
That's why I'm making the appeal right here on the show. If you are someone who has received this conditional cash transfer, please call in on the show. Please call in right now. Call in right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm
just like the guy from Abuja, John, called in and said, well, these are the items I received.
Yes, this is. I know the formula they have been using to share something in Nigeria since 1980. I was born.
Oh, you do?
I'm telling you. Do you see my age now? I say since 1980. You see my age? Since 1980 till now, 5 naira. You know that 10 kobo that we used to have before? 10 kobo, federal government 10 kobo. I've not entered inside my account. But any time they want to do election, they know my door. To come and knock. Okay, come and vote. But now they have come to the time of to share something. You no longer see them. None of them will know our door again. All those parties, this and that. See, all these things that they are doing, this money that they meant for vulnerable. I watch some of the people that queue on the line. The clothes that some of them wear, the one that came to receive the money, they claim they are there. Is even they didn't know what is vulnerable. People that cannot afford. Go to inside village, you see people that are living in mud houses, rain and all that, and are beating them when there is rain falling. And the people that it's not all those ones that can afford a clothes of 20,000 naira. Somebody that receiving the call vulnerable is wearing toroka. China, this thing, all those Hollandis, how much you are giving him, you are giving her so amount there is vulnerable.
So are you in support of the call by Serap that the 37 billion naira instead of it being used to renovate the National Assembly complex, it should be rather channeled to the states regarding the fight against COVID-19?
This COVID-19 of 18, what Serap is said at times, I see them as political. Those Serap people, all of them, go and screen them. Many of them is from PDP and the APC. Many of them. Leave all those things. They will come in the morning, they shout this and that. In the night, you see them in the meeting. Many of them are APC and the PDP. I don't trust any of them. All those things that you see they are doing is political statements. Look at what I'm telling you now. Look at how much they have been sharing things. Ask anybody, challenge anybody to call you, if not people, even the people that will call you that lie that they have received. Me, I have not seen even 60 funding. Look at my account. My account is red. Have they come and ask me why your account is red up to how many months now? If somebody that they have not put in one naira inside account for over 1 year, they don't know that person is poor.
All right. Thank you very much.
Are they looking for?
Thank you so much.
Let them keep that money. Let them not touch that money. They are not sharing that money to anybody.
All right. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, name and location.
Young Chief from Rumabatu.
From Rumokwachi. Happy Sunday. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. They are talking about sharing food items. See, my brother, you know that this is our country. We are good in politics for everything. And I so thank God for this COVID-19. It cannot affect the country, Nigeria, as other countries. If this COVID-19 affects Nigeria, as Italy, Spain, US, China, all those things they are doing, I don't know whether they're going to say they do all those gamble, whether they play. You know, they play gamble. They go do this, they go do that. Nothing is happening. Everything is joking, playing up and down. Now, see the end now. They are sharing food items. I live in a room about it. I'm a young chief. I saw what them brought for the community. I just go closer to the chief of the community to observe.
Okay. From the River State government.
From the River State government.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I heard from the federal. We are hearing from River State government. I just go to observe as a chief, a young chief. Now, look at the way they're sharing the thing. Indigenous, we carry lion share. Not indigenous, then begin the even the indigenous says, what can be one carton of Indomie? What can be one sachet of Indomie? This is spaghetti. I just sweet. It's not the way.
Did you say one sachet or one carton?
One sachet.
Wow.
It's not the carton. One sachet. That's spaghetti. The long one now. Yes. I didn't see rice there. Didn't see rice.
All right.
I'm very surprised. I said, is it the food? Is it the food where government brought? They say yes. I said, no, wahala. I go back to my house. And
okay. Thank you very much, young chief. Thank you so much for calling in. I have to take some other calls. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you speak up? I can barely hear you.
Yes, I'm hearing you. My name is.
Your name is?
Yes.
Okay, Casey, where are you calling from?
I want to talk about.
Where are you calling from, Casey?
Calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, go ahead.
I'm talking about the palliative. I am in support of what Sarah. Right? telling that the federal government should give us money.
Okay.
Abacha has collected how many $1 million? And Nigerian population is 200 million. If they give everybody 1 million naira to account, it will go a long way to cushion the effects of this problem we are passing through. The people are suffering. I want to let you know that people are suffering. They don't have to leave their houses now. They make people to get out of their job because yes, for their safety. But people are not eating in their house. But they are busy taking care of themselves. If that money about a loot, if they give everybody 1 million, it will still be remainder. I don't know whether you're hearing me, sir.
I'm hearing you. I don't know how you did the maths, but go ahead.
Yes, 200 million population of Nigeria. If they give everybody 1 million naira, there will still be remainder.
and I say again, I do not know how you did the maths, but go ahead.
Yes, I'm talking. Sorry. What I'm trying to say is that look at using the palliative they are giving. I'm talking because I don't like what they are doing. They're sharing Indomie. They carry it and keep it to work. Are we in election? We're talking about food, feeding the people. If you go to other countries, they have trucks that carry this. They package this food, package it, and bring it to street by street. They bring it street by street, each household, and give it to the people. Not people going. If you go to where they are sharing this food, 1 tuber of yam, they cut it to 3 persons for 3 persons. 1 tuber of yam, 3 persons will share it. Is it wise like that? That is wickedness.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for airing your opinion on the show. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, my name is K. Greg, not Kalada. All right.
My name is
What's your name?
Emmanuel.
Okay, Emmanuel, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Adumonu.
All right, welcome, Emmanuel. Go ahead.
For my suggestion, I would suggest that they should not share any money. But the one that they say they are sharing, they are not sharing it. Both state and federal. In this school, the one that said here, 1 person take up of 5. What a set of Indomie. Do what they say that they share for.
Did you say you said 1 person? How much rice?
3 cups of rice.
3 cups.
Yes.
That's from the state government.
Yes.
Oh.
It's not easy to do, but.
Oh. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. 95.1 FM. Good evening. I lost that one. The phone lines are still very much open, and you can be part of the show simply by calling in on 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510 951. The crux of the matter on the show tonight is, what do you think about the call by Serap on the National Assembly to channel the 37 billion naira that they initially proposed to use for the renovation of the National Assembly complex to sharing to the various 36 states of the Federation and the FCT as direct reliefs and benefits to the country's poorest and most vulnerable, as it regards the COVID-19 pandemic. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, Sarah is doing a very good work.
Okay, who am I speaking with?
Okay, KSP.
KSP, yeah, it's been a while. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. They are doing a very good work. And I want to say that if you check with simple calculation, the state governors are better managers than the federal.
Okay.
Number one, allocation. the revenue, everything. Federal gets 52%, isn't it? The whole 36 states, including FCT, share 48 with the local government.
Okay.
Come down to the so-called development they do, the road, the whatsoever. In each of the states, can you compare the civil servants and of the state and the federal civil servants? It's not. You can't. The state civil servants are always more than the federal. So if you look bit by bit, you see that even the minute something the states or the state governors are doing, they are still somehow doing better than the federal, because already the federal has 52% of the allocation. Everything coming. So if Sarapi is saying, give these things to the state, it is okay. I don't see anything. Who told us that the federal are not corrupt? Look at what they are doing. Out of whatever money they gave out, they are telling us they've given 2 million. Some group is now coming to tell you that it's not up to 2 million, it's 900
yeah, about 900,000, yeah?
About 900,000. So the money allocated for 1 point something million persons, where is it? Is it not the same federal government? And people will tell me, why is Governor Wike appointing state chairman, PDP, and all the rest? The people appointed at the federal, are they PDP members to share this something? The point is we should advocate for these persons to do it right, and not the people at the federal. Are they PDP members appointed by the federal government? Is it not some APC members? So please, we should advocate for. We should pursue them, attack them, and make sure they do it, share it accordingly, and not just to this one, PDP chairman. And finally, for House of National Assembly, Senate, if you check 37 billion, also 36 states and FCT. Automatically it goes around 1 billion, isn't it? And these people are 3 senators in a state. How do you build house with around 7 billion? You want to renovate, you want to use 37 billion to renovate. House you build with 7 billion thereabouts, you want to renovate with 37 billion. I think they told us it was Saraki that was stopping the whole of immediately the people that APC wants become Senate President and speakers. Everything, Nigeria will turn to heaven. Is it same Saraki that is doing all this one? We should hold our people.
All right, KS, we have to let you go.
Politics.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the show. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Joshua, calling from Omo.
All right, go ahead, Joshua.
Thank you. The issue of sharing something in Rivers State or Nigeria at large. I want to specifically tell our brothers or our sisters who are depending on those sharing formula to boycott those things, because, you know, as Nigerians, this coronavirus has also make some people to put food on their table, and we know that what they are doing in Nigeria is a scam. If you take a look at what sharing in those different local government or the world, my brother, pity that.
Have you received any of the food items?
I don't put interest on those things. I don't even believe that there is such a thing happening in Nigeria, but I'm just concerned that in China it's happening, in Italy it's happening, in Germany it's happening, but Nigeria own is a scam. Because if it is not a scam, they should tell us, they should come and bring those money and invest it in those and try to put a medical this on the ground, but no reasonable thing that they are doing.
Okay. Okay, guess I lost you right there. I'm going to take a look at the message portals. We have something within the region of 4 minutes to wrap it up right here on the show. Taking a look at the SMS portals, this one says, God forbid that the National Assembly will spend such money just to renovate the red chambers. This is Okosisi Chimangba Endurance from River State. Okay, this one says, Coco, when we get a spiritual leader, the condition of Nigerians will change. APC should be careful because God is angry. Coronavirus will accomplish its mission and our leaders will change for the better. Mr. Chika Ajoku sent that one in. All right. Good evening, presenter. It is unfortunate that our leaders place more value on materials than our lives. May God deliver us. Pastor Larry Okoro sent that one in from Iwofe. I am not interested in the money because since I was born till now, I have not benefited anything from the government. I am Callistus. Okay, Callistus, you did not state where you sent that one in from. Sharing 37 billion naira to states for me is not a welcome development because the state governors who will receive the money may squander the money and it will not be used for what it is meant for. Aleru Big Joe Waneka sent that one in. Let's face these monsters called government once and for all. If not, we will keep singing the same song. Okay, James sent that one in. This one says, Coco, my people are dying of hunger. I just wish I can do more to fight for my people. Trigger sent that one in from Port Harcourt. And then this one right here says, good evening, Coco. I am Chris O'Chris. See, tell state government to allow people to go and get food for their family. Could you believe that a family of 4 and husband and wife received 2 cups of gari and 2 cups of rice and asked them to use it for 14 days? Coco, I am ashamed of myself when I saw the women narrating what she passed through after standing on the line from morning till 6 p.m. This is wickedness. They are just treating people's malaria. It's not something to laugh about, but then I just cannot help it. I'm going to take a look at the WhatsApp portals right now. This one says, good evening, Coco. Let the APC members in River State go to Abuja to collect their own money and food from their father, General Buhari. Let them leave our governor and our state party chairman alone. What of the money federal government is sharing? Has anyone received it here in the South or Southeast? Obim sent that one in from Port Harcourt. Well, you guys are now trying to politicize this whole thing. You're not trying to politicize this one, and that's exactly what I was avoiding. This one says, the topic today portrays the class of people leading us. I am sure that the COVID-19 has actually made some of them rich. Nigeria should learn from COVID-19. I expect them to contribute their salary during this condition, but nothing yet. It's a pity. Nigeria is dead, waiting to be buried. All right. I have pictures right here on the WhatsApp portals. Someone says, good evening, K. Greg. This is a palliative given to my wife yesterday at Rumokoro roundabout. I am Mr. Jackson from Wimpy. I don't know what this is. Okay, this is pasta. Pasta, just one sachet. One sachet of pasta, and that actually is palliatives. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, Greg. Greg.
Yeah, what's your name?
Ed Daniel.
Okay, welcome. Go ahead, very quickly.
Happy Easter.
We should do the very same.
Sharing, looking on state alone, why federal government have 500 billion for intervention or emergency fund? Why not APC members ask federal government that intervention fund of 500 billion every year? Where is it?
Are you a PDP member?
I'm not.
Okay, then why are you particular about APC? Why are you particular about APC asking the federal government?
They are focusing. They are attacking Wike right from 2015 or 2016 up to this time. How can you attack somebody who is trying to look for your interest, defend you in all ramifications? then you will be attacking him, leaving whom you voted for. Is it good? You work for at NEPA, or you are working for 95.1. Then you go to Treasure to pay you. Federal government is saying his father to the whole state is budgeting 500 billion naira, dollars, pounds or naira every year, and for emergency. And the emergency time has come now. He can now bring it out.
All right.
Serap has asked for this money either Monday or Tuesday this week that ended. Where is that money? If federal government shared 1 trillion, because for 2019 and this year, 500 billion intervention fund or emergency money, put it together is 1 trillion. Let's share 1 trillion to everyone that has an account in this country.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. I'm going to take just one last call. We have actually overshot our time. 95.1 FM.
Good morning or good evening.
Good evening.
Good, I'm Obina.
All right.
I want to remind you, remember when Vice President of Nigeria, Pastor Professor Yemeshimanjo, was trader money, 10,000. I don't know whether that money they borrowed from China or is part of Abacha loot or the one they cover. You know that nowhere in South Africa somebody who always ask them, please, who received this money? None of them. Where? Nobody received it. But they try to bring their friends, their families. Now another one have come. Federal government led by Muhammad Buhari have collected billions of naira for one bank and this health people and WHO, World Health Organization. Where is the whole money? Even the better look they recover before. They're still hiding it. People are dying for hunger. See, this system have failed because I remember what President Muhammad Buhari was mentioning school feeding when school are not in session. Currently, nobody is last broadcast. People should educate people how to talk to people. People are hungry. No money to do. People are eating one packet of Indomie. And federal government is celebrating that they are taking care of their citizens. Will you take care of your loved one like that, brother? I'm asking you. The people that you claim you love, you are killing them. People are even killing more than this virus. Go and check the records. So
all right.
I urge them to welcome because I don't believe that they are sharing anything because people have not received. I think they do BVM. Let them carry people's accounts, not to plan to.
Okay. Thank you very much, Obina. Thank you so much for calling in. And this right here is where I get to draw the curtains on trending stories. Today's edition. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Up next is the World News at 10. My name remains Coco Greg, and the dial, the frequency check is 95.1 Today FM, the voice of the people. Please keep the dials locked right here. Do not move an inch.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
A very good evening to you. This is the World News on your Premium Talk Radio. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Coco Greg. The headlines. Christians mark Easter celebration despite lockdown in several countries. NCDC reiterates need for Nigerians to comply with stay-at-home directive by government. River State chapter of CAN charges State Palliative Committee on Equity and Justice in distribution of relief materials. On the foreign scene, U.S. records world's highest number of COVID-19 deaths. Now, the details. Christians across the world today marked the 2020 Easter celebration despite the lockdown across most countries of the world. Most of the churches held their services online in compliance with government directive against large gatherings. Here in Nigeria, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's Easter's message was transmitted online from the presidential villa. The Vice President said the death of Jesus Christ means that God has paid in full for all our sins.
Was between their destinies, whether heaven or hell. Today, his cross still stands between us and everlasting fire. He is the mediator between man and God. He came not to condemn, but to save. And he has already paid in full for all of our sins. Once we accept him as Lord and Savior, we exchange our sinful selves for his holiness. So that when God sees us, all he sees is the holiness of his Son. From the moment we receive Christ, we can also call God Father. And this is the gospel of Jesus Christ, that we are saved by grace, not of works. We are saved. The salvation is a gift. It's not a reward. It's a gift to us. It's not a reward. The power of Jesus Christ to instantly forgive and make holy. There's no process required. He said, today you will be with me in paradise. Today your name enters the book of life.
Speaking in a separate interview, the national president of the Christian Association of Nigeria expressed hope of God's intervention in the issue of COVID-19 affecting almost all the countries of the world.
The sadness of the disciples turned to joy all of a sudden when they have lost all hopes. It appears that the world has lost hope at this time due to the rampaging power of COVID-19. The high and the low have been brought down. But at the same time, there is a God that rules in the affairs of men. And the Lord rolled away the stone from the grave. The power of grave was destroyed, and the Lord came out from the grave triumphantly, triumphing over there. The good news is coming to us very soon. Today the noise of battle. Tomorrow it will be victor's song that we shall be singing. Because the Lord rules in the affairs of men, and he will intervene for us.
As Christians across the world mark Easter celebration, clergymen in Port Harcourt have continued to emphasize on the essence of Easter. The parish priest of St. Gabriel Catholic Church, Rumosi Camillus Ogbungbada, said the resurrection of Christ is the essence of the Christian faith. The priest admonished Christians not to exhibit the spirit of fear despite the COVID-19 pandemic, which is ravaging the world.
What is the whole thing about? If we believe that, if we put our hope in that, what is the whole fear about? What is the whole prevention about? Coronavirus or no coronavirus, disaster or no disaster, everything should be according to the mind of God. That we are in his hand. Whenever it happens, if it happens, we are in the hand of God. Whatever it happens, in whatever way, wherever, however, if we believe it, we believe in it, not believing it like the Satan, like the devil, but we believe in it. Believing God is a different thing, but believing in God is another. That is our own. We believe in him.
On his part, another clergyman, Chizenum Lerum, stressed the essence of repentance in this Easter season.
Are you the one that have not given your life to Christ? I'm celebrating Easter today. This is time to give your life to Christ. Mary wept and Jesus appeared to her. If you can weep, if you can cry, Jesus will appear to you. No matter how your sin may look like, no matter what you have committed, if you can acknowledge.
The River State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria has called on Christians to reciprocate the sacrificial love of God to one another. The call was contained in the Easter message by the state chairman of CAN, Stanley Dinkpa. In a statement, the CAN chairman advised Christians to renew their relationship in Christ and promote bond of unity and peaceful coexistence in the state. Dinkpa also commended Governor Nyesom Wike for the steps taken so far in the fight against COVID-19 in the state. He also urged the state's Committee on Palliatives to endeavor to do all within their reach to cushion the hardship caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and to work with the love of God, equity, and justice in the distribution of provided materials. The CAN chairman also called on multinationals, companies, and sons and daughters of River State to support the state government in raising funds for tackling the COVID-19 pandemic as done at the federal level. The president of End Time Intercessory Ministries, Bishop Moses Uzodimma, has announced a donation of his church to the River State government to be used as an isolation center for COVID-19 patients. Uzodimma announced the donation while delivering his Easter message. The clergyman advised other churches to toe the same line, stressing that turning churches to isolation centers will ensure that COVID-19 patients are healed. Bishop Uzodimma further urged Christians to believe in the resurrection of Christ Jesus, describing it as the beauty of Christianity.
Attention needed at this very time is the intervention of the pastors. I commend the doctors and our health workers so much. They have done very well. They should be our role model. They should be the real celebrity. They have done their part, and the government have done also their part. What is remaining for the church. The end of this whole thing is waiting for the total awakening of the church. The church need to arise and do something. The Lord specifically told me that until the churches are being used, which is the church building, are being used as quarantine centers and are being used as a healing places for this whole virus, that the virus will continue to spread. Just as I have discussed with my elders and my church board that our church, which is the headquarter church, has been donated as a quarantine center. Let them come and use the church as a quarantine center.
Our correspondent Elfreda Alebrici reports that Moses Uzodimma urged Nigerians to celebrate doctors as the frontline responders to COVID-19. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria has expressed unhappiness as Christians mark the Easter celebration amidst the battle against COVID-19 in Nigeria and across the world. The bishops, however, said this was a time to express love to one another, especially the poor, widows, and the less privileged who might not have the means to celebrate Easter. In a statement signed by the president of the CBCN, Most Reverend Augustine Akubeze, who is also the Archbishop of Benin City, the group urged the people not to lose hope due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Akubeze said there was hope that the tragedy that had befallen the world would soon be over. 5 more COVID-19 patients have been discharged from a Lagos State isolation center. The state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, made the announcement on his Twitter handle. The governor explained that the patients, 4 females and 1 male, were discharged to reunite with their families and the society after testing negative for COVID-19. Governor Sanwo-Olu noted that with the newly discharged patients, a total of 55 people have been successfully managed for COVID-19 at the state government's isolation centers and discharged to the community. The governor urged the residents to stay at home and continue to practice social distancing, as well as observe the highest possible personal hygiene to curb the spread of the disease in the state. He also asked them to report any suspicious case they notice to the appropriate persons for prompt action. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has continued to urge Nigerians to stay at home in this period of lockdown. The NCDC said the move is a joint responsibility meant to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the country. In a tweet to wish Nigerians a happy Easter, the agency explained that the stay-at-home order by the federal government was to complement the efforts of NCDC officials working to stop the spread of the pandemic. It also urged the citizens to avoid gatherings in crowded places, to stay alive, as well as keep their loved ones safe. The call comes as President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration is taking a 2-step approach in response to the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. In a tweet, the president said this has to do with the security of the lives of the people, as well as easing the effect of COVID-19 on businesses in Nigeria. A former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has expressed optimism that Nigeria will rise and defeat the COVID-19 pandemic. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party made the statement in his message to Christians on the celebration of Easter. Atiku, in a series of tweets, stated that he has strong faith in God, that the nation in togetherness will bid farewell to COVID-19. He also urged Nigerians to learn the relevant lessons that should be obtained in this period and profit from their experiences. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
With the dawn of the global pandemic, coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, we have been advised to self-isolate and observe social distancing rules. We at Today 95.1 FM want to tell you that while you self-isolate, it is important that you take this time out to get a skill, improve on your old and existing skills, read a book, listen to educational tapes, work out if you need to, bond with your family. Don't just spread fear and panic, self-isolate and grow. Make this time count for you. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
Many thanks for still being with us. Now the rest of the world news at 10. Two top government officials of the Nasarawa state government have been arrested for allegedly violating the restriction placed on public and social gatherings in the state by state government. The officials arrested by the police are the overseer of Lafia North Development Area, Suleiman Agio, and the acting registrar of Isa Mustafa Agwai Polytechnic in Lafia, Mukhtar Wakil. Agio's arrest follows the wedding he had earlier, which went viral. The wedding ceremony prompted the police to arrest the bride, his friend Wakil, who both featured in the video. The State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Abdul Karim Kana, has confirmed the arrest and added that the duo passed the night in detention at A Division of the Police Command and that investigation is ongoing. The State Commissioner of Police, Bola Longe, has also said the two government officials have been granted bail and will be charged to court on Tuesday. Longe also disclosed that over 300 persons have been arrested for violating restrictions put in place by the government to contain the spread of COVID-19 in the state. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has sent an urgent letter to the National Assembly urging it to immediately make a public commitment to redirect the 37 billion naira for the renovation of the National Assembly complex to give 1 billion naira to each of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Sarah believes that would serve as COVID-19 direct relief and benefits to the country's poorest and most vulnerable people. Serap, in a letter signed by its Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, said Nigeria is at the crossroads and National Assembly leaders and members must now decide whether to continue to look after themselves and do little for the country's poorest people. The organization said it is concerned that the prevailing situation has taken its toll on the country's poorest and most vulnerable people who continue to endure the grimmest of conditions in several states and the FCT. Serap also appealed to the National Assembly to immediately advise President Muhammadu Buhari and the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to urgently implement the lawmakers' commitment to redirect the 37 billion naira to the vulnerable people in the country. And now on the foreign scene. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has left the hospital after being treated for COVID-19 but will not immediately return to work. Johnson was taken to St. Thomas Hospital in London 10 days after testing positive for the virus. He had 3 nights in the intensive care before returning to a ward on Thursday. Downing Street said the PM would continue his recovery at his country residence, Chequers. The Prime Minister thanked everybody at St. Thomas for the brilliant care he has received. The number of people who have died with COVID-19 in hospital in the UK is said to have passed 10,000 as at today. The latest figure comes amid an ongoing row about availability of protective equipment for healthcare workers. The United States has now overtaken Italy to have the highest death toll from COVID-19 in the world. The latest data compiled by Johns Hopkins University shows that more than 20,000 people in the US have now died. The grim milestone comes shortly after the US became the first nation to record more than 2,000 virus deaths in a single day. The governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, has, however, said the state's death toll appeared to be stabilizing. Announcing a 24-hour figure of 783 new deaths, he noted that the last several days had seen around the same number. New York State has become the epicenter of the outbreak in the U.S., recording more than 180,000 of the country's nearly 530,000 cases. Pope Francis has celebrated Easter Sunday with a mass held behind closed doors at St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. This year's Holy Week events were modified to take place without the public. The Pope also replaced his traditional address to crowds at St. Peter's Square with an online message. Last year, more than 70,000 people joined the celebrations. Italy, one of the countries worst hit by COVID-19, remains in lockdown with the entrance to the Vatican sealed off by the police. And in sports, former Chelsea and England goalkeeper Peter Bonetti has died at the age of 78 after a long illness. Bonetti was described by Chelsea as a goalkeeping superstar of the 1960s and 1970s and one of its indisputably all-time great players. He was part of England's 1966 World Cup winning squad, but was unused throughout the tournament. Bonetti made 7 England appearances and featured in the 1970 World Cup quarter-final defeat by West Germany. As well as playing 729 games for Chelsea, Bonetti also had brief spells at American side St. Louis Stars, Dundee United and Working FC during a career which spanned more than thrice decades. And now to end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. Christians across the world have marked this year's Easter celebrations despite the lockdown in several countries of the world. The NCDC has reiterated the need for Nigerians to comply with the stay-at-home directive by the government. The River State chapter of CAN has charged the State Palliative Committee on Equity and Justice in the distribution of relief materials across the state.